Nobody!
I want to focus on the things that have made us good all year long, an intensity that they can't match. And the other thing is the ultimate disrespect is when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game, so that makes it so personal. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
I need 60 minutes. 60 minutes of me. 60 minutes. No business, no mercy. Nothing but stuff on the thought bubble. You got me. We're going to ring the bell. We're going to ring that championship bell.
Big motherfucking dog!
The orange ball is on Mitch Jeter's leg. Good snap, good hold, kick on its way, and the kick is good! Yes! Mitch Jeter, with 7 seconds left, gives the Irish a lead, 27-24. Notre Dame is on the precipice.
Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl.
3rd and 16. Mahomes roll it out. Looking, firing, intercepted. Picked up by Cooper DeJean. Gets a block. DeJean is in. Touchdown.
The Philadelphia Eagles have won Super Bowl 59. They have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
You are looking live.
Welcome, everyone. Huddle Up Podcast. You are looking live. It is Wednesday, October the 21st, 2025. We are glad to be back with you for another one, and we hope you're having a great week wherever you are and whenever you do get a chance to listen to this. Make sure you are following along with us all season long. We are at Huddle Up Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitter. We are on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. We are on Twitch at Huddle Up Inc. And you can follow all of our locations by clicking on the link tree there that is currently in the top right corner of the screen. You can also grab our merchandise over on our TeePublic store, and you can click the link, the QR code there in the top right corner to grab our merch on the TeePublic store. We would certainly appreciate the support there. As Sean with us, EJ with us.
Oh, Sean made it. There you go.
Sean did make it in.
Made it wearing the merch.
There it is, wearing the merch. There it is. The that's one of the classic logos.
Yeah, that's we call it the OG on the show, right?
Yeah,
OG.
we have all of our classic logos
look going today
on the store. So go ahead and grab that. You can hit the QR code there now, right by EJ's head there in the security van. That'll get you to our YouTube. Give us a subscribe there. We have content that will end up on there on the daily. So we certainly appreciate the support all season long.
So fancy, Jim. You got QR codes and stuff down the show. What's going on?
Hey, man, StreamYard gives us the opportunity. I'm going to take advantage of it.
I got to say, StreamYard's done a good job in the last year, like adding a lot of really cool features to this thing, man.
Yeah. It definitely is worth the cost that we pay for it. So that's
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's always a good thing. EJ, how we doing this week?
I'm doing well. I mean, it's been a shitty football week for me, though, but we're live tell a tale, right? Let's go.
Oh boy, we will we'll talk about that, I am sure. Sean, how are you in the merch?
Bro Montana, Bro Nix, how you guys doing? Came out ready to play hang out with my bros,
Yeah.
Devin, I see you too over there. I only had 2 bro names prepared.
Yeah, it's all right.
So I don't have Bro Jackson. Can he be Bro Jackson?
Sure, he can be Bro.
All right, Bro Jackson out there in the comments. A little better week, at least football wise, but the Dodgers still alive, so the evil empire still descends upon us.
Go Blue Jays.
Brutal. Gosh, I really wanted the Mariners to
Me too.
be the one that pushed them, but I guess I mean, Vladdy Jr. I mean, if Vlad Jr. wants to get one, go ahead and get one. I think he's about as fun of a player.
I'll say this one. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say that Canada winning America's pastime right now feels very fitting in 2025.
Oh, believe me, I'm sure there will be some sort of tax or embargo or the trophy have trouble getting
terrific job at the World Series.
Probably.
Good job. We're going to put a
just-
tax on you guys right there. You know what I'm saying?
Just shuts down Major League Baseball because Canada won.
I would assume there's probably not going to be a visit if Canada wins.
I mean, let's be serious. What are the odds that he actually is watching anything? He doesn't
Well,
even know who's playing.
He's in full construction of the White House.
He's too busy destroying.
You got shit going
classic American architecture.
Hey, listen.
All right.
For Christ's sake.
But, by the way, I do think. By the way, I do think the Blues had a better shot being LA than Seattle did. To be honest,
there's a lot of mixed feelings. There's a lot of people that think that the NL's best chance was the Phillies. Obviously, the Brewers didn't put up much of a fight. A lot of people thought that the Mariners.
Yeah, real bummer for Milwaukee.
The Mariners were going to possibly be the better shot, but the way Toronto's rolling, and they could have easily died after going down 2 games.
It's like I said 2 weeks ago. The World Series was playing in the divisional round. It was Phillies and Dodgers.
If someone was going to derail them, it probably should have been us. And to get out 3-0 early on Ohtani and then just watch the whole series collapse from there was pretty rough. But hey, it's football season, you know?
Yeah, but honestly though too, I mean, again, the Blue Jays very easily could have died against a hot Mariners team going down 2-0 at home, and they
easily
they didn't roll over. So I'm not going to count those guys out. First World Series for them since '93. So
Mitch Williams
certainly got a lot.
Sorry, John.
Certainly got a lot rolling on them.
Maybe Devin could be Bro Carter then.
Yeah, Devin still hates football. I don't blame him for that. But
he's a Dolphin fan. Of course, he hates football.
Let's not talk about the bad. Let's talk about the good. Okay, let's talk about the good. If the board wants to. All right, as we do each and every week, we look back at the football week that was, and we look at the best things from the last 7 days. EJ, start us off. What was the best of the week for you?
There isn't really no one thing. There's so many good things that's happening in football, and not just the NFL, but college football. Sure. I just think we need to take a time to appreciate the parity we have now in both sports, but both tiers. Both NFL leagues, and college
tiers.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like we don't have a clear cut. Like I guess right now in college football, you would say at this point now Ohio State is probably the clear favorite, but who knows what happens next 4 weeks? NFL, you have a group, but that group of teams is a lot bigger than you get credit for. Teams we wrote off weeks ago, they're back. Teams that we thought were contenders, they're not anymore.
Maybe not.
It is so weird. And the thing is, this story still be written. That could all change in the next 3 weeks also.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're going into week 8 of the NFL season. We're at, and now because there's not an even number of weeks, like we're like barely at the halfway point. We're at the start of the halfway point.
Yeah.
And everything just about that we thought we knew about both leagues, college and the NFL, we're very clearly we still have to learn a lot.
And that's why I tell folks, week to week, don't get too tied up on a situation because that situation you see here may not be the situation for this said team in 2-3 weeks. Now, of course, some things never change. New Orleans does suck. Dolphins does suck. Titans suck. We know that. But everything else, even some of the weird.
The bottom 5 was way easier to put together.
Oh, Sean, without question.
The bottom 5 was almost
the bottom 5.
Just a no thinker. I was just
without question. It looked. I shit you not. It took me
like
2 minutes.
28th. I was like, is it this team or that team?
Right. Yeah. But 30, 31, 32 are pretty much cemented in at this point.
Yeah. No lie. In the 4 years or 5 years of doing this podcast, easily the easiest we do bottom 5 I've ever done.
Yeah.
I just got out of the way first. I was like,
yeah,
it's pretty clear. I had that written down. I had to wait till 1 a.m. this morning to really kind of finalize where my top 10 was because there was a team involved that played into that
more on that later
night. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But EJ, like to your point, there was a lot of Notre Dame fans that were mad that the Irish only moved up 1 spot this week after beating USC. And I would go, look, we can get mad all we want, okay? Yeah. But here's the deal. We have 5 games to go. it doesn't matter what we're ranked on October 21st because we have 5 games in front of us. If Notre Dame wins those 5, they're in the playoff. If they lose any of those 5, they are not in the playoff.
Not like
where we're ranked right now. We're ranked 12th, by the way, which means in the next 5 games, theoretically speaking, because the AP poll and the college football playoff
are not always
different. But theoretically speaking, we have to move up 1 spot over 5 games. If you don't think that's going to happen, you're out of your mind. Because the teams above you have to play each other still.
You have rivalry games. You have conference championship games. Yeah. You have a whole bunch of things that will involve multiple teams up ahead of us. Also, I know it's spooky season, but EJ, is your place haunted up there? I feel like it was like a phantom chair.
Chairs and things moving. Well, maybe he parked on a hill, so like the bungee cords are.
Sorry,
he's got animatronics up there, just chairs.
Got a lot of things going on here. I got like my son, my youngest son was hang out with for a little bit, so I'm
happy Halloween from Eagles Tours.
Got ghosts in here.
But Sean, what was your best of the week?
Well, for my best of the week, we're going to have to go all the way back almost a full week ago to Thursday Night Football. And the story, I mean, it could easily have just been the QB matchup that everybody was dreading going into the game, turning into arguably one of the best head-to-head quarterbacks.
What are they calling the Ben Gay Bowl, the icy hot bowl?
Yeah, they were making fun of these two left and right, and
the OG Bowl.
The 2 grizzled veterans put on a show. And one half of that duo put on the show, and Joe Flacco, to me, the Iron Man, the grizzled vet, the pull him out of retirement, I got nothing better to do. Joe Flacco is by far my best of the week. Coming out in a game where, I mean, everyone's saying, well, you got no offensive line. Well, Joe Flacco's smart, and Joe Flacco knew he had about 2.2 seconds to get rid of the ball on any given play. And he studied that route tree. He knew exactly where everyone was going to be 2 seconds into his progression. And he just read which one was going to be open the fastest. And guess what? It's usually Jamar Chase. Like if I have 2 seconds to throw the football and I have to go, I need the one most likely to be open in 2.5 seconds. Of course, I'm going to target Jamar Chase 30 times.
Oh, shit.
Like, who else are you going to throw to? So, but I mean, to come into that game, and I mean, Aaron Rodgers has the benefit of playing the Bengals defense, which has surged. I will give them credit.
They've gotten better. They've gotten better.
With the presence of Joe Flacco and the presence of something to be excited about, that defense has stepped up more than they have all year.
This is true.
But Joe Flacco, 31 of 47, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the big number, 0 interceptions. To be able to do that and to do it quickly and do it efficiently, it forced Pittsburgh to pursue him first, which is bizarre. Like to think like our main goal is to get to Joe Flacco. Easier said than done. But it opened up holes for Chris Brown, who had his first 100-yard day of the year. I mean, everything looked on point for that offense. So yeah. I'm not saying that they're a front runner to catch Pittsburgh. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that for this week, they've opened the door for the AFC North.
Right.
They have shown the world that, hey, Cincinnati's not dead yet. And the big man, Joe Flacco, is the reason why. So he's your best of the week, at least from this.
I mean, they've played 7 games. Steelers have had their bye. Steelers are 4-2. Bengals are 3-4. So, and again, it doesn't mean that they're a lock by any stretch of the imagination, but they look much more alive than we gave them credit for. And again, we're barely starting the halfway mark of the season. Yeah. The Bengals are currently 9th in the AFC standings.
Not to knock on Flacco, because Flacco deserves the credit.
2 spots.
Flacco deserves the credit, obviously, but this only works if the O-line holds up. It only works. Sure. And to their credit, they did that on Thursday. That was the reason they won that game.
Well, I mean, they held up as good as they could because Joe Flacco had a few, like 3 or 4 that I saw where he didn't like the first look, tried to make a second,
right,
and then just ate it.
Like, but most of the game, I would say the line held up. Like they couldn't get pressure on him for most.
At the very least, they would give him a pocket to step into.
Right, give him 2-3 seconds at tops, and he's going to be able to move that.
And here's the thing that we got to look at now, because Bengals lose that game on Thursday. they're probably thinking themselves, like, this is fucking, we're done now. We're now 2-5. We're done. Now you're 3-4, as Jim just said. Okay, the Steelers are 4-2, yes, but they're not impressive. They're not pulling away. This is exactly why we said the Ravens are still in this thing, as we all mentioned a couple weeks ago. Okay, the Bengals now, their priority is this: can you be sitting at 7 wins by early December? And if so, in time of Burrow's return, that's your goal.
And then you're
Be
in a
sitting
good
at 7
spot.
wins by December in the
Yeah.
race. So that's the goal of the Bengals at this point now.
Well, I mean, they are at the
Jets are going. No,
The goddamn Jets.
this week. Then they host the Jets. They host the Bears. Then they have their bye week. Then they come out and they close out November at Pittsburgh versus New England and at Baltimore. So
That's a grueling
there's a couple of rough games there, but you've already beaten Pittsburgh, right?
Mhm.
This week should be a win. Again, not putting the cart before the horse because here we are. We still don't know anything.
because this season's still drunk.
But
Very
it should
drunk.
be a win this week. Chicago beatable. They look better than expected, but beatable. Pittsburgh beatable. New England, again, better than expected, but probably still beatable. And Baltimore, we don't know what they're going to be because they're 1-4, 1-5, but Lamar Jackson will be back. Hopefully Derrick Henry will be back on track. Hopefully if the defense gets back on track, but who knows? But they may have a shot. December looks pretty tough as well. Buffalo, Baltimore, but then you get Miami, Arizona, and Cleveland to close out the year. So they have a easy final 3 if you can get through a little bit of a gauntlet.
Yeah, like I said, if I had a bet on it, I would bet against it because I just don't trust the offensive line to hold up. That's the thing. But again, this has been a wacky year. We're
Sure.
7 weeks in. Every week we see something
hold
shocking.
up. And yeah, are they going to hold up to give him a 10-second pocket? Probably not. But Joe Flacco, much smarter than the alternative in Cincinnati. He's going to get the ball out quick. He's going to give his playmakers a shot.
Yeah.
And also, I'm certainly not one to give credit to QA Ron by any stretch of the imagination. But that, first off, he played well. But that Hail Mary, 70 yards in the air, that's absurd. At 106 years old,
You got flashbacks, didn't you? You got
That's wild
flashbacks,
stuff.
That's pretty impressive. I'll give him. I'll give credit where credit is due. I don't have to like him, but I'll give credit where credit's due for sure. My best of the week, and either option was going to be a homer one, and if you guys have any others, maybe we can rattle them off real quick.
Okay.
But I'm going to stay in college football for this one, and I will hit the button because I don't care.
Homer.
Notre Dame brings home the Jewel Shillelagh for the 3rd year in a row, 7th out of the last 8, 11 out of the last 15 since 2010 in what could be the final meeting between Notre Dame and USC for the foreseeable future because Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojan are cowards. That's fine. Run with your tail between your legs. We'll find somebody else to beat
They're
up
good
on
now.
They're
Good.
But yeah, Notre Dame getting the job done
Can't we just play someone normal?
in a rainy, messy South Bend Saturday night that tested my patience to everybody the imagination. I even made I checked out of the game and put on an episode of Ted Lasso to recenter
Did
myself.
you?
He did. He sent a
man.
text to let him know
Yeah.
how the drive was going.
I said somebody let me know because I had to get out.
Like, I have to get out of here. I'm
I
gonna
have to get
throw
out
my
for my-
television.
for my own well-being. Put on an episode of
It
Ted
was stressful. It was
Lasso.
stressful to watch.
Grounded me, got back in, we were fine. But the Irish keep winning. Ryan says in the comments here, he says, I'm just here for EJ's bad
You
take.
come to the right place.
Well,
buddy.
aren't we all?
It's the only
Aren't we
place
all?
to get,
That's right. Come to the right place.
or his 19 other podcasts, all just
Yes, that too
Oh.
also.
Devin
Podcast
says
is good.
and Devin
Jesus,
says at least
Godfather.
Penn State had the common sense to fire their head coach. Miami might not fire him until God knows when at this point. They should fire him and get a good spot for the NFL. But see, Devin, here's the thing about getting the spot for the NFL draft. If they keep McDaniel there, they're going to have a better shot, I think, at
Right.
getting the better draft.
You don't
pick.
want to
We
promote
do
a
have
coordinator
talent.
and fire some guys up accidentally.
And
with a game.
Exactly. Keep
And
the morale down. beat them
And they-
down. Save
and
them
they
to the
better
Oh,
too. 'Cause
God,
they have
Jukes
they
is
have
back.
they have no assets at all. They have no assets.
No.
And here's the thing: you consider and say get rid of Tua. Here's a reality situation. If you cut Tua right now, the rumor was that you have dead cap money of somewhere in the neighborhood of $70 million.
It's a lot.
Okay, so you're stuck with Tua probably for another year or so at least. Next year, the number I think is like $20 million, $30 million. So you got Tua for another year at least.
I could also see a situation where if whoever the new coaching staff is approaches him and says, "Hey, we're not going to play you," and management's like, "Let's rework this deal so that you still get a majority of the money owed, but it's going to be a smaller cap hit." I do see maybe a restructuring of that deal, and then they can
Right,
play
because at that point it's like if you wait till then you hold some cards because you're as an organization you're like, look, man, if you say no to this, we're not just going to let you play for someone else on our dollars. Like that's not gonna fly.
Right. It's just
so
sad.
If you want to just keep the money, then by all means hold a clipboard all year.
It's just sad because they should not be this bad. You look at their roster; it's a decent roster that should win at least 8 games to 9 games a year.
I would say in parts it is,
right?
Yes.
But I think you have the injuries on top of the locker room. You lost the locker room at this point out. They are arguably the worst team in football right now. Arguably.
Yeah, and McDaniel just he definitely seems checked out. The fire has left that man. We do have a comment here. Gators winning the Natty. Did you see that game ending?
Yeah, Jukes is back.
Man, he's wow.
How old is Jukes, by the way?
I'm sure Jukes 13.
Obviously, that makes sense. Why?
Live your dreams. You finally got Billy Napier out of the room, so maybe
you got to understand that age bracket has an attention span of about 14 seconds.
That's like my son.
They don't believe that anything that happened before yesterday is real, and they have no ability to look outside of a 3-county radius. So as far as he knows, there's only like 2 college football teams and 1 NFL team.
This is soon my 12-year-old son Eli telling me, "Hey, Dad, hey, the Panthers win the Super Bowl this year." Like, stop.
You know what? If it was going to happen, this is the year to do it. My other one, real quick, again, not really going to spend a lot of time on it. 44 points added to the Cowboys total, one of only 3 teams to hit the 200 mark this year. Brandon Aubrey also sets an NFL record for 64.
I was going to say, what's he have, 130 of them?
I'm going to say it again, Jim.
I'm going to say it.
Jim, I'm going to say it again.
Go ahead.
He may be the first kicker to crack $10 million annually salary.
Dude, he's so good. This is the week to watch. This is the week because they're in Denver. I wouldn't be shocked if they have the ball before halftime. 70-yard attempt. I'm telling you that they're gonna try to break the record this week.
Yeah, they're like the other team's 45. They're just taking a knee in the middle of the field. Like, what's happening?
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it again. Do not take kickers for granted. You don't need a kicker to need one. I'm a Giant fan. Trust
the Cowboys have had some bad ones over the years since in the post Dan Bailey era. So I'm wholly welcoming and holding on to Brandon Aubrey. Any other quick bests from you guys this weekend?
I know I got ahead of myself a little bit in the game because we were texting during the game on Sunday, the Giants game. But look, the bottom line for me is that my attitude come to the year, my attitude when Dart got the starting job week 4 was that I don't care about wins and losses. Do I want some wins? Of course. Sure. The priority this year
then you're rooting for the right team.
Right. Yeah, correct. The priority this year is development. What's going to save Brian Daboll's job this year is developing the quarterback. He picked that quarterback, okay? The reason why he has a job now is because Daniel Jones was his guy. That was Dave Gelman hire.
Sure.
He picked this guy. So his whole Giants career is Ryan Jackson Dart. And so far through 4 weeks, he's made the right choice. This kid is really, really good.
Looks good. He does.
So,
looks very, very good. Man, we're getting run-ins every week on this show now.
It's the way we do it.
Just let anybody come in.
What's
here.
up?
Big Mike, how we doing, buddy?
Oh, hey, guys. Let's see if I can turn my camera and make myself look.
There we go. Technology is fun. How we doing?
Isn't it?
We're good. Joe Flacco is 1-1 as the starting quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals.
He sure is.
He was my best of the week. If you missed it, best of the
week.
week.
This is best of the week. Again, if you guys could be sitting at 7 wins by get to December, that's a good sign for you guys.
We learned something else in that game. It's my best of the week.
Oh,
We said in this show for many years it was death, taxes, and the over when you talk about the Big 12. Now it's death, taxes, and get the ball to number 1 in Cincinnati.
ain't that the truth?
Always open.
Always open. Always open.
He's so good. Best in football to me.
Devin says, "Hey, Big Mac."
Oh, hey there.
Yeah, an unfortunate injury last night.
Jukes is telling us about what might have been the worst of the week.
The Mike Evans injury last night, just devastating.
He's what, 34, 33 years old?
Yeah, that one stinks, man.
I was talking to someone off the ledge today about like he's probably going to retire, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, he's in good shape. He seems to come back from these injuries pretty fast. He's obviously not going to be the Mike Evans that there was before.
He's not too old, right?
But I also don't. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that wants to end his career, like outside of his own hands. You know, like I like to have it just end this way.
Like when Steve Smith came back,
he's going to want to, even if he's not going to play a number 1 receiver role somewhere, and is going to be like almost like a late career Julio. You know, big guy out of the slot, maybe the big number 2 for a short, speedy 1. And it's probably just going to be in Tampa. He just won't be the first look.
Which is fine.
And I think he would be okay with that if he gets to walk off on his own power. I think,
which is fine because he's on a team right now. Because if Mbuka is the guy going forward, he's on a team where he can take a step back and still have an impact on his
pretty good.
He's
on Tez as well has been on a heater. So there's receivers
Chris Godwin
in Tampa Bay. So all right, let's keep going on here though, guys, as we move into the college football slate. Only 3 games that we're going to predict, and but before we dive into those, obviously the college coaching carousel is already moving pretty quick with James Franklin being gone, Napier being gone, Mike Norvell in Florida State. I know they said they're committed to him, but we're probably going to see a coaching change there at the end of the year.
I don't know. That buyout
inside the house in Baton Rouge are getting real loud.
Hey, that buy money is pretty big, though. I don't know about Norvell.
You'll
honestly,
pay it.
They'll find a way. Penn State found a way. Florida found a way. Florida State will find a way. LSU will find a way. But like, so going into last week, right? There was people in sports media. Brady Quinn was on Dan Patrick show and was talking about it, and I heard it from others that if Michigan had lost this past weekend to Washington, that Michigan had to start thinking about a coaching change, or if this game in I forget it's a couple of the other comparisons that he said that start thinking about a coaching change. And I thought, look, just because Penn State makes a business decision after 11 years of James Franklin does not mean that teams need to start getting drastic after a year or 2 or even 3. Like, sometimes it takes time to build a program. Brian Kelly, and Kyle, get ready for this one whenever you listen to it. It took Brian Kelly like a decade to really rebuild and set Notre Dame up for the future. Even if he couldn't get them over the top, he laid the groundwork for what Marcus Freeman is doing. Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, like, it took a long time for them to get to a championship level. So, and I get in the NIL era and the 12-team playoff era, like, patience is going to wear thin quicker. But like, Sharon Moore's been at Michigan. This is year number 2. I don't think you need to start getting hitting the panic button so early. Like, yes, James Franklin fired.
Wait. That's a thing?
I heard a couple people in sports media last week saying it, that if they'd lost to Washington, that Michigan had to start thinking about it. And I was like,
get the fuck out of here.
No, they don't. But like, how quickly should college programs think about the next step? Mike, I'll let you give your thoughts first since you're with us.
I mean, I think every program has to have their level. You're looking at a team right now, and we'll use the Florida Gators as the example. It's kind of been a whirlwind since the loss of Urban Meyer. They've gone through multiple coaches. They've gone through multiple rebuilds. They've gone through different brands. Maybe you press the button there a little faster because you're going, okay, I'm seeing signs of the guy who was before him, and getting lazy potentially in the recruiting, and hoping that because you're a multi-million-dollar organization and university that you're going to be able to use the NIL and the transfer portal and things like that. But a team like Michigan, like you said, were national champions 3 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, you're in a spot where there's one team that's going to win the national title every year. There's 12 teams that are going to make the playoffs every year. And sometimes it's out of your control if you're the 13, 14, 15 because of having to get a group of 5 team in there, having to potentially get multiple lost teams in there that are playing in superior conferences and things along those lines. So if you're a Power 4 school, I think you have to look and see what your recruiting class looks like for years 3, 4, 5, and 6 if you're actually considering getting rid of a guy in 2 years. If you have a freshman quarterback that you've just recruited that's going to be your guy in the next 2 seasons and that's the coach that brought him in, maybe you give him that leash. Maybe you look at a guy like Lane Kiffin and you go, can someone just take him off of our hands?
Right.
So, I mean, I think every program obviously has to look at it different. Georgia, not going undefeated. We don't hear Kirby Smart's on the hot seat because they've lost a football game.
Right.
I think you have to look at your thought process of where you are as a school and look at it from that standpoint. I mean, the guy from Georgia Tech right now, the hottest coach in the world. And people are like, can't wait to see where he's going to end up. He's building a program at Georgia Tech. Maybe he doesn't leave. Maybe he just doesn't leave.
Right.
And if he doesn't leave, then you now have even less coaches going for these high-profile jobs. Are they high-profile because they're a Power 4 school? Cool. But when Diego Pavia leaves Vanderbilt, if that guy doesn't have anything behind Diego Pavia, who's saying he's not looking to leave?
Right. Yeah.
So maybe you look at what you're building that isn't on the field, but what is going to happen next. And if you're not pleased with that recruiting class and what's on the field, then maybe you address that situation.
All right, Sean, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think an important thing is like it's very much a case by case basis. I mean, I think the big thing is you can't get caught up in what everyone else is doing, and you kind of have to keep your blinders on. It's not a situation to panic, and generally firing in the middle of the year is something that should only, in my opinion, it should really only be reserved for a situation like Penn State, where it's like, look, we've told you time and again, we've addressed this time and again, and now they're breathing down my neck too much. I got to do it. You know, like it's we've gone to bat for you. You went to bat for yourself, and you swung and missed. Now I don't really have much of a choice, and I'd be willing to bet coaches in that situation have it pretty much presented to them well ahead of time. Like, look, man, you put it up. Now you gotta doubt the critics here. But I mean, it's just, I mean, in the NFL, I've talked about it too, where like, you know, all these rookie quarterbacks come in and like, what is the last 6 first overall quarterbacks have lost their coach mid-season. And in college, I think there's like it's just kind of a short attention span in both leagues. I feel like it's just way too, what have you done for me lately? Not what are you going to do for me in the near future? And I think you got to look at that, not to mention the fact that if you don't have, like, you're not cutting a guy loose unless you have a plan or somebody in mind better, right? I don't care if you're in the NFL, if you're in the NBA, if you're in college football, if you don't have a target in mind or at least an idea of what that target's going to bring to the table, sometimes I feel like teams fire their coach just because they think it's the right thing to do. Sure. And then they end up hiring someone that's just completely derails the program because you either did it at the wrong time or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, you're keeping the blinders on. It's also like if you're in a situation where you want the best candidate and you know you have to do it midseason to get that candidate, I guess sometimes there's an argument for it. But, you know, the smaller schools and the programs that aren't going to have the – like Penn State's got pull. Like there's a big school. It's a big conference. It's a big house to play in. And a ton of money if they believe in you. And so to get out there first is probably a good play for them. You know, if like Missouri tanked a couple games and decided their coach was, you know, a smaller school in a big conference, they don't have the same play. So stay in your lane, believe in the coach that you believed in. Find out if it's completely dead or just needs poked a couple of times. Hey, is there anything we can do for you? But yeah, I would say I would err on the side of holding first until you felt you didn't have a choice. So definitely not early in a coach's career. That's just silly.
DJ?
And I will say most schools, in comparison to the pros, they do a lot better job of like really playing the process out before they cut the cord. You don't see a lot of like 1 year, 2 year firings. Like we had one in Florida State a couple years ago, but that situation was just dire. We needed to get rid of Willie Taggart at the time. But most schools do stay the course. They stay through at least one of not multiple recruiting classes before they say, "Hey, this is not improving." I mean, look at James Franklin, Penn State. Fucking Billy Napier, for example, got longer than he probably should have, honestly. So every situation is different. You know what I mean? I do think.
Well, and the playoffs going to help that patience level. Like having 12 spots versus like 2 or 4 should help. Like the boosters and the fans hold a little bit.
Wait, are you saying they'll be more patient or less patient?
More patient. I mean, I think
I don't know about that actually. I
you think it goes the other way?
I mean, James Franklin just got fired. They were in the play. They were a game away from going to the fucking title game last year, and
not this year.
Well, yeah.
So,
but that's what happens when you lose to UCLA and Northwestern in back-to-back weeks.
Right.
But
I just meant the patience as far as when you said they're letting them get through some recruiting classes. I think knowing that whatever 2 years down the line that there's 12 spots available might make just all right, ride it out. And
I think it can depend though, because also with more playoff positions, and I think this is maybe what EJ was thinking, with more playoff positions, if you're a program that you're being projected as maybe a top 5 or 6 seed and you fail to even get in.
Oh, no. Sure.
Pressure's gonna
I was talking more in the lines of like in a rebuild, like where Penn State just collapsed. They're going to hand this over to a new coach. I think there's a level of patience there because you don't have to within 3 or 4 years get up to the top 3.
Oh yeah, it's a
just
reset.
Get me in a position to get in that top 12
correct.
And have
it's a real reset. You know what I'm saying? But look at it. You have James Franklin gone. I don't know if we forgot this, but Clemson was there too, also in the final 12, and Dabo's on the hot seat. So I mean, one of those things where like, I think the playoff is going to actually create more urgency, if you will. Schools will be less patient in comparison to before. That's why I think it's going to happen more. And on top of that too, also will dictate that.
If you think that Dabo Swinney is truly on the hot seat at Clemson, I have some oceanfront property in Lincoln, Nebraska I would like to sell you. Because the reality of the situation is this: he gets the leash to go 8-4 a year or two because that guy has found a way to get a program with unknown quarterbacks that aren't the top recruits across the country into playoff games. And yes, it helps that he plays in the ACC. And yes, it helps that that conference is not at the same level as other conferences throughout college football. But it's Dabo. He's going to be able to go 8-4.
I mean, it's a program that has had its little specks of greatness here and there, but it was never this long of a powerhouse.
Correct.
He's built a program. It's almost like a Paterno effect where it's like, look, even if this is just what happens until he fades off,
he's getting another year. First off, I've been saying it all year long.
And then we just let it go. I don't think there's a rush to get him out.
Right. He has enough goodwill built in for the time he's been there to at least guarantee another year or two. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't know how Clemson's school, how they're going to operate. They may operate in the same way, like you mentioned, Sean, by Penn State. Paterno got a lot of time. So did James Franklin. Some schools are okay with waiting 10, 12, 15 years before cutting the cord. You know what I mean? So maybe that is Clemson. We'll see. But, I just think overall, go ahead.
Dabo next year's going to be going into year 18. They won national titles in 16 and 18. He's been there since 2008. Took over during the year.
I'm old.
So and he won titles in 16 and 18. They got back to the playoff in 19 and 20. Mm-hmm. They and then were there in 2022, and then last year lost in the first round. So yeah, 3-4 so far this year, 2-3 in conference play. Dabo's not getting run out of town unless he wants to leave.
And I think we had those pressers you had. Remember you had those press conferences after week 2, week 3, those losses, and he was very vocal about that. But like, you know what? If you're on Friday, I'm still coaching. I'm still here. I think.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he
and
says,
here's the thing:
he
he
says
will
that
be
because
hired.
he's confident. He's confident he has his job security is okay. That's why he says that.
If he's fired on Monday, he's hired somewhere on Wednesday. Like
Without
he is
question.
not staying unemployed for very long.
Without question.
But fast forward to next year, if you don't get this thing right, and even make the postseason this year, even at 6-6 and go to the Pop-Tart Bowl, you start off 3-4 next year. Not saying you're going to get a mid-year firing, but it's going to get real loud real quick.
Oh yeah,
if you have 2 bad seasons,
That's when the hot seat gets hot.
yes,
right.
Correct. But yeah, ultimately, I think that the media, sports media, and again, it has become very hot takey. But like the reaction to Penn State's firing, making a decade-long business decision, should not impact guys who are in year 2. Sherrod Moore may not be the guy at Michigan, because that was the name that Brady Quinn specifically brought up. He may not be the guy, but you're also not going to find that out in year 2.
Agreed.
With a freshman quarterback and a very young roster, they've lost 2 road games. They lost at Oklahoma, they lost at USC. But everybody was talking about Washington being disrespected and not being ranked last week, and Michigan put the hammer down on them. So, maybe don't give up on a guy in year 2. Quite.
I mean, we live in a world where week 1 not even 2 months ago, Caleb DeBoer lose to Florida State. Holy fuck. We got to get a new coach. And now number 4 in the country. Relax. It's okay.
You mean that Sherrod Moore lost to guy who was the Heisman front runner until he broke his hand, and a team that was ranked in the top 25 when they played them before they lost to Notre Dame this week?
Well, technically, when Michigan lost to them, USC
they weren't ranked yet, but they got
weren't ranked. Michigan fell
27th,
out.
27th ranked USC.
And then now Michigan's back in, USC's back
out.
So
what you're telling me is they lost 2 games that were 50-50 at best games.
Sure.
Unlike James Franklin, who got beat belt to ass by 3 teams that are going to win 7 games total.
Well, sure.
Right. And I just wanted to touch on the point that was made about, Penn State and some schools having the patience to wait 10, 12, 13 years. I think sometimes when you are a large program, as long as you're staying competitive and you're winning conference games and you're going to bowl games and the money's coming in, a lot of times when you give that big contract, you're like, hey, we'll give you at least 6 of these, right? Like you have 6 to put this thing together and get it the way you want it to run, and then we'll see what it looks like. Because those big schools, that level of patience, they've learned over the years that when you jump quickly and you make the quick hire and it doesn't work, and you start going like ship to ship to ship, it's very hard to build a program and to recruit and to sell anyone on belief in the program if there's no stability at all.
Right.
And you run the risk of that every time you hire someone.
Of course.
So you want to make sure it's deliberate and it's the right choice. And there's a reason why they haven't just rushed out and snagged the first guy that came in for an interview. Because they want to make sure this is going to work.
And the world NIL, people react. The kids react. Okay, well, he's gone, coach. Oh, I'm not going anymore. I decommit.
Yeah,
but the good news is if you build a culture quick enough, you can get some guys to flip back. Because all they got to do is just flip a switch.
Yeah, I mean, there was I think it was a wide receiver recruit, Penn State, that was like, hey, I'm still committed to Penn State, but I've basically left my DMs open, basically. So he's like, my plan is to go to Penn State, but I'm gonna kind of maybe see what's still out there. So it's like
I'm listening to the radar, I'm watching the weather map here.
And they have had a couple decommitments.
Just making sure that there's no storms on the horizon.
Correct. All right, let's move on to week number 9 in the college football season, which again that in and of itself is insane.
It's going too fast, Jim.
It is going very fast. We will institute the clock. That coaching segment went a little longer than I was planning on, so we'll go with the timer clock, even in college football games this week, and we will start. Basically, if you want to see the best games in college football this week, you're going to live on the ESPN family of networks. That's just how it goes. We will start Saturday at noon on ABC. It is number 8 Ole Miss They are 6-1, and they travel to number 13 Oklahoma, also 6-1, and surprisingly a 4.5 point home favorite. You're over under 54.5. EJ, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I am surprised about that, man. You know what? I don't trust them. Give me Ole Miss. Give me the under.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, you got a team in Oklahoma that let me down against the spread a couple times, but I like the way they're playing there. I like it a ton. Not to mention, got a little bit of anger probably coming out of the Red River shootout. Got some disappointment to take out and file some grievances. And of the top 10 teams, Ole Miss is the one to me that just doesn't feel right. And I can't put my finger on what I don't like about it. It just doesn't feel fluid. Maybe it's Lane Kiffin. Maybe that's all it is. But whatever the case is, I think Oklahoma rolls here. I think that 4.5 is a pretty decent number. Give me Oklahoma to push the points, push it over there, and give me the over on the 54.5.
Sean, the little fake hustle.
What's that?
Ole Miss, a little fake hustle.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey B.
To quote the great Pat McAfee, "Boomer, sooner, anytime." Give me Oklahoma in the over.
Yeah, I mean it's when you're talking Oklahoma, you still get Big 12 feel out of it. And Ole Miss can put up points as well, so definitely take the over. And yeah, I think with Mateer back and Oklahoma starting to roll a little bit, there's a reason they were as high as they were, because they're a really good football team when he's on the field. And Ole Miss feels like they care more about social media posts than they do actually about winning football games. So, yeah, for that reason, Oklahoma at home, take them very seriously. Devin has Oklahoma and the under on that one. All right, we move to got to hop over a network, still in the same family.
Disney.
It's still family. 3:30 Eastern time on ESPN. It's number 15 Missouri. They are 6-1. And because nothing makes sense, number 10 Vanderbilt, who is also 6-1, 2.5 point home favorite. Your over under is 52.5. EJ.
Fucking Missouri saved my parlay, and then Florida State destroyed it late night, and I stayed with 2 in the morning to watch that fucking game. Anyway,
anytime Florida State messes up your parlay, I smile a little bit.
Fucking money line, Sean. Not even the spread. Money line. I had 11 team parlay. 10 of the games hit. And fucking these guys. Oh, never mind. I'm over it. Anyway, this Vanderbilt
10 legs of a parlay hit and Florida State broke you is hilarious.
To be fair though, I had a 13 teamer. I had on at noon all hit, but it's fine.
Are these like 10-cent bets, please?
No, $5 bet, make 120. Why not? I the first one, second one almost hit too.
Did you check the cash out before the Florida State game?
No, that's the worst part. They never offered it to me. You know why? They were losing the entire fucking game. I would have cashed out. I would have cashed out in the quarter. Yeah,
fucking amazing.
Assholes. They were like, no one's going to cash this out against Stanford.
I mean, look, I'm still ahead. This is good, but I'm just mad they cost me money and sleep. Anyway,
that's why I rarely bet on my team. But go ahead.
Yeah, same here.
All right, EJ.
But this Vandy story is so cool, isn't it? So cool. And I'm gonna ride with them, man. Give me Vanderbilt here and the under. I think I don't trust Missouri. The fun game is Auburn on Saturday, but come on, they're not. I think Vanderbilt's for real. Give me Vanderbilt.
Very good. Devin has Commodores in the under. Sean.
I told you earlier in the year, and I tell you again that Missouri has one of the best offenses in the country, and then that defense is built better than it has been in many years. Not to mention the fact you have a Commodores team just sitting there waiting for the letdown game. We're in the top 10. We're relevant. Maybe not for so long, but not so fast, my friend. This Commodores team is special. The Commodores belong in the top 10.
Not so fast, my friends.
They're playing as good a football as anybody else. I think, despite how good Missouri's offense is, that Vanderbilt is more balanced. I think Vanderbilt is probably better coached. And I also like the Commodores. Give me the Commodores to roll, to hold the top 10, maybe move up a couple of spots. But I think I'm with you. I think 52.5 is just a bit high. I think they slow down the high-octane Missouri Tigers and keep it just under.
Very good, Mikey B.
I fell in love with the SEC roll call over on the TikTok, and it's made me fall in love with Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores. So I will ride the ship into battle with Diego, and I will take the Commodores and the under.
All right, very good. One of my favorite parts about the success of Missouri is their quarterback, Bo Pribula, was at Penn State, would have been set to take over the starting role had they not stayed committed to Drew Aller. And certainly Drew Aller with the injury, feel awful for him. But, man, what possibly could have been for this Penn State team and this Penn State offense if you had just let Drew Aller go somewhere else? But instead, Bo Pribula goes to Missouri, and nothing against Vanderbilt. Fun story, great story. They can still finish strong, but just want to twist that knife in the side of the Penn State fans just a little bit harder. Give me Missouri to cover. Give me Missouri to win. And I will take a slight under. Slight.
It's a slight.
Just slight. Okay. Not a lot. Just slight. And then last one, we stay in the family. Yes. We go Saturday, 7:30 Eastern time on ABC. It is number 3 Texas A&M, 7-0. They are a 2.5-point home favorite, or a road favorite, excuse me, against what will be a testy crowd, I am sure, at number 20 LSU, who is 5-2. You're over under on this one, 47.5. EJ.
Oh, this can get ugly. I mean, this can get really ugly if they lose this game. But I gotta think that he'll find a way to eke it out. Brian Kelly will find a way. Give me LSU to win outright against A&M. The way you feel about what's the team you mentioned? Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah.
I'm kind of that way A&M too. Also, like something's missing there. I know they're number 3 and they're unbeaten and deserve it. I get all that, but they don't feel like a top tier team just yet. Anyway, but
Johnny
we'll see.
Football
maybe
doesn't play there anymore.
Yeah,
Johnny
maybe this week. Maybe this week they change that narrative.
He's watching old Johnny Football clips.
Having said all that, I think Brian Kelly finds a way to save his job if he's on the line as anyways. Give me LSU to win this game outright and give me the under.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, this one could easily bite me in the ass here because I refuse to bet with Big Game Brian and his constant derailing on big stages, especially in prime time. But they keep giving it to him. So
and we're sitting here again.
I saw a funny teacher meme with that exact clip that was like sitting in professional development at the beginning of the year for the 80th time, just talking about the same things, But yeah, no, the LSU. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I said it was the most talented team he's had. This was a national title contender all over it. That ship has sailed. You're scrambling to save your job.
I appreciate the thought, but you've got the story wrong.
You're scrambling for your job. You're scrambling for a spot somewhere in the bowl season. You're gonna have to scramble a little harder after this week because I'm on the other foot. I think outside of Ohio State, when you're looking at those next couple teams trying to find the next best team, I think A&M's made a pretty strong case that they might just be it. I think they were playing good on both sides of the ball, a lot better even than they were when they went over Notre Dame early in the season. Might have been a gift playing them then. So I am going to take A&M to derail Big Game Brian once more. I'm going to take him to cover that 2.5 easily, and 47.5. I think because Big Game Brian's trying to save his job, they're going to push a lot of points and force A&M to score. So I think it's going to go over.
All right, very good. Mikey B.
All right, because I have to leave after this, I will also coincide this into my lock of the week. It is a dual threat lock of the week. Texas A&M wins by double digits. They hit the over. Brian Kelly is fired on Monday morning, and the Texas A&M Aggies will be the number 1 team in the nation come Monday afternoon when the poll gets released.
That's like a 4-part lock. What part of that are you locking?
I am locking the fact that they win by double digits.
There's a lot.
I thought you were
going on
locking
there.
the firing. I thought you were locking number 1.
I have a lot of hate in my heart for the family, so Big game, Brian. Enjoy your job at Penn State next year.
There you go. Get him out. What a mic drop for Mikey B. My goodness. Man, I don't know when we'll see you again, but holy cow, he left us with a good one.
Wow.
I don't know how to follow that.
You got the Owen Wilson button. Just hit that a couple times.
Just my goodness.
Wow.
That was
There's
something.
your wow moment.
No kidding. Yeah, I don't know about double digits. Certainly could see it happening, but I think the over is the smart play because if, like you said, if Brian Kelly and company, they know they gotta work hard to try and save his job if they want him there. Maybe they don't want him there. I don't know. But I see this game going over. I watched Texas A&M put up 41 in our house, which tells me that LSU only needs to score about 8 after that to get this thing to go over. So I think the over is probably easy. But here's the thing, man. I'm with Sean. I think Texas A&M is playing as good as anybody in the country. They've been tested more than Ohio State has. I'm not saying they're better than them. I'm saying they're more tested than them. Look at Ohio State's schedule. And Texas A&M is
look at the Big Ten
is showing up. So I think they cover easily. I think they win pretty easily. Probably more in the touchdown line. Maybe not the double digits, but who knows? And I think the over is the play. And then obviously the conversation around Brian Kelly and his future will continue to get louder, especially if you do get hammered on a national stage in your own house, no less. So certainly it's not going to get quieter for Brian Kelly if Texas A&M does what I think they can. So, all right, let's move to the National Football League. We move into week number 8 and a very bye week heavy this week. We have the Lions, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, and Jaguars all on a bye. So a smaller game schedule. Obviously gets going on Thursday night. The Superchargers, the dark blue uniforms getting busted out this week. So certainly
got to be better than that yellow.
That was a lot. I think those uniforms would look a lot better with like the white pants or the blue pants.
Something.
All yellow was aggressive.
Was it with white helmets?
Yeah.
Which is also light, like maybe have like a dark blue helmet with a dark blue
I think if they
pant.
did, instead of doing the powder blue accents with it, if they did the dark blue helmet, yellow jerseys, yellow pants, and like blue socks, the dark blue socks, like that I think would bring it home a little bit more. And maybe dark blue numbers. Like look at Michigan did an all maize against Florida a few years back when they played at
was it amazing?
It was amazing. I like what you did there. Yeah, it's good. That's good.
EJ, you with us?
Yeah, man.
Look like you were fading off there.
I'm reading something on my phone. Sorry.
His eyes were down. He's just...
We are. I thought maybe the exhaust was coming in the van.
Yeah. It's a little.
Turn the van off.
It's a little working on things here. Trying to get the computer working.
Turn the ignition off, EJ.
Are you?
I just realized Mike left too. Also.
Yeah, Mike walked out. Mike did the big mic drop, and EJ didn't even realize it. All right, we are starting this Sunday, 1:00 on Fox. It is the 4-2 Buffalo Bills. They are a 7.5 point road favorite at the 4-3 Panthers. Your over/under is 45.5. Sean.
All right. Normally, in a situation when you're playing against a team that I predicted would lose to the Jets the week before, on a week that their starting quarterback has injured himself, I would easily run with that 7.5 points and be like, take to the house. Unfortunately for Buffalo, they still have to play with the Bills defense. And now they get to go against the Red Rifle, which is probably for 1 or 2 games an upgrade from what we've seen in the last 2 weeks. The Red Rifle will find Ted McMillan. The Red Rifle will find an open tight end. The Red Rifle will help the running game. And even if the Buffalo Bills find a way to scrap this out with the help of Josh Allen, I don't think it's going to be over a touchdown. I think this is going to be a much closer game than people say. Give me the Red Rifle and the Panthers to at least cover. And I'm going to say at 45.5, we're going to take the over. Red Rifle scores points.
Ooh. All right, EJ.
Listen, Sean, I like the logic there. I really do, man. But here's the thing: the Bills off a bye week, number one.
Isn't
Number
it
two,
impressive when someone uses it? I know it's
yeah. Number two, I think they're hearing the noise from people like me and people in the media who like saying the Buffalo Bills they're a good team, but underwhelming. Are they really a team we trust in the end? Who have they beaten this year? So, having said that, I think this week for 1 week, for 1 week, I think they will this week bounce back and play with some urgency, and I think they'll beat a Carolina team that's cute story 4-3 in October. No one called saw that coming though, but no Bryce Young. I know they have the Red Rifle. He's solid quarterback. He'll give you a game or two a year but I don't think it's this week. I just think Buffalo will come back, fresh legs. They'll come in like game busters. They'll win the blowout. Give me Buffalo to win and the under.
All right, Devin has Bills in the over. Until the Bills and their defense can prove to me that they, that they have some form of a pulse. I'm going to err on the side of, they're going to make games closer than they are. And that's also been the Bills' identity for how many seasons I've talked about on this show. So
close games.
All of those reasons why I'm taking the Panthers to cover. I think the Bills do ultimately win the game. They're a better team. Like let's be fair. Nobody's saying that the Panthers are a better team, but the Bills are playing with fire a lot. So I think Carolina covers. I think it will stay under because I think the Bills and probably the Panthers too are going to try and do a lot of work on the ground to control as much clock and control the game as much as they can. So I will take the under. In that one.
At the end of the week, if at the end of the week, because the media would sound shocked, is talking about how did the Buffalo Bills lose to I would be sitting here going, not surprised, because I don't see it, and maybe this is the week I do. Maybe EJ's right, but I don't.
And meanwhile, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves because we have the power rankings somewhere here too. Also, I think Buffalo now went from the team that was the favorite in the AFC now to probably. Not even maybe the third best team or even fourth best team in the AFC right now.
But even when you're talking receiving core versus receiving core, and like Cook versus the Hubbard and Dowdle two-headed monster, and you line up the tight ends and you line up the I don't know that they're a touchdown better than the Carolina Panthers.
Probably not.
Defense they should be, but I haven't seen it. So yeah, I'm just sticking with the Red Rifle here.
Oh yeah, all things equal, I see your point. I just think this is a Josh Allen. Okay, we got to get right now.
It's going to have to be him on the team on his shoulders like they have for years. So that's the only way it works.
Totally agree.
All right, moving on. We go. We stay at 1:00 on Sunday. We move over to CBS. It is the 4-2 Chicago Bears. They travel to the 1-5 Baltimore Ravens, who are a 6.5-point home favorite. Your over/under in this one is 50.5. Sean.
Well, I'm going to go on the assumption that Lamar Jackson will play.
I think
we're early. I already practiced.
They haven't announced yet though, but he's going to be playing.
Right. It's an early in the week podcast. We know that. It's unfortunate, but it's also a chance to talk about football on a Tuesday. So, assuming that Lamar Jackson plays and that Derrick Henry had a week to think about the fumbles and get past them, and Zay Flowers gets to get his legs right and get the wheels moving, and everything else kind of settles in. Run a lot of defensive reps. I still look at the Ravens, and they're not a 1-5 team. They may be 1-5, but when healthy, they are better than 1-5. There's a reason that they are a near touchdown favorite at home against a team that's 4-2, because that team's not a 4-2 team either. I think Caleb Williams looks shoddy at best. I mean, when he's on, he looks great. But he's only on about 60% of the time, in my opinion. And I think there's a lot of mistakes there. I think there's growing pains with the new coach. I think there's, I think DeAndre Swift in the running game struggles at times. And to be honest, I think when you get a running threat like Lamar Jackson and the pounding of Derrick Henry, I think that defense is gonna spin in circles a little bit. I think the Ravens get out to an early lead, and I don't think they look back. I take the Ravens to cover the 6.5, make a statement here, especially after that Steelers loss last week, that we are here to play. And I also guarantee that they make a run and win the North. I'm just going to lock that in now, just under the radar. And I'm going to take the over at 50.5.
Very good, EJ.
Look at the records. 1-5 against 4-2. In what world would a 1-5 team be a touchdown favorite in the game? That tells you Lamar Jackson's playing this game. That tells you right off the rip.
Yeah, Vegas knows.
Expects him to play this game. And off a bye week on top of 2 also. We discussed on the
Or
podcast.
Vegas knows he's not, and they want the Ravens money in now.
Yes. Hey, you never know. No, I don't trust those fuckers. Come on now.
Saturday, they're like, actually, Bears by 3.
Right. Again, off a bye. We discussed on the podcast a couple weeks ago about the Ravens, why they're still in it. We went through the schedule. Now it begins now. Steelers already lost lost last week. Obviously the Bengals have their issues. The Browns, obviously the Browns. These next 6 weeks are going to define the Ravens going forward because they, in my opinion, they should go no less than 5-1 going forward. And I also think I don't know. I haven't seen the report yet, but I'm going to assume too that some of the defensive players have been out a couple weeks are back in the fold. We'll see because they need all hands in. But
they had at least two big names that were out for much longer. But yeah, right, some of those lesser injuries, should be back.
Right. So having said that, no, I'm going to trust the Ravens for 1 week off a bye. Lamar's back. The Bears are a good story.
Who do you trust?
But we know they're not a playoff team. It's still about a year away from being a serious playoff team. Getting Baltimore here to win in a blowout. They're back. Give me the over.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Devin has the Ravens and the under in the comments. Look, what a lot of the things I said about the Buffalo Bills, I can almost just repeat here for the Baltimore Ravens. Defense bad until they can prove that they're not. I'm going to believe that they are. Tend to kind of beat themselves in situation multiple games this year. Ravens had it game well in hand, well into the second half, and they found ways to lose. Buffalo always finds ways to make things close. Baltimore this year finding ways to lose, which is kind of uncharacteristic of the Baltimore Ravens. So I think they get in the win column this week. I don't think they cover that touchdown. I think this is going to be a scrappy game. I think the Bears are going to take the fact that they are, 3 wins better than this team, but they're kind of being disrespected by that betting line because they're aware of it. So I think the Bears cover the 6.5. I do think it gets over because, again, one team has a bad defense. One team has a defense that's inconsistent. So I think offense is going to be the name of the game. Take the over in this one. Ravens win, but the Bears do cover. Then we go Sunday, 4:25 Eastern time on CBS. It is the 3-1 Dallas Cowboys. They traveled to Denver to take on the 5-2 and wearing their throwback uniforms. Denver Broncos, who, again, 3-point home favorite, and your over-under is 49.5. Sean?
Well, that 3 home favorite just tells you that Vegas doesn't know what to do with the Dallas Cowboys right now. I think the balance of I've never seen a team that could – I think there's a legitimate possibility that you have a team that's number 1 in offense and number 32 in defense. I think it's very possible, and I don't know how many times that's happened in the history of football.
Probably not many.
But I think there's a very good chance that may actually happen. Having said that, I think the trouble is I think the Broncos match up better against that terrible defense than the offense does against the Broncos defense. Now, given I'm more on this later, but I don't really buy the Broncos right now either. This is a team that only plays in the fourth quarter, but they play very well in the fourth quarter. I'm going to take the assumption that they learn how to play in the other 3 quarters at least a little bit, at least on offense against that defense. I'm going to take the Broncos here, and I'm going to gauge
the Denver Broncos.
I know I'm not super happy about it either, except that it's against Dallas. But I say give me the over at 49.5. I think between the Broncos against that defense and the Cowboys offense in general, I think 49.5 feels low.
All right, very good, EJ.
I don't get this Broncos team, bro. I really don't.
They make no sense, EJ.
For real. I came into the year saying that this team is a little overvalued. Okay? Then 5 weeks in, I'm like, you know what? I'm buying in now. I'm buying in. And now 2 weeks later, I'm going back to where my original stance was before the year started. They should have lost to the Jets. Should have lost to the fucking Giants, crying out loud. We won't talk about that. So this Denver team is just weird. Like their defense is what carries them, honestly. And Bo Nix, other than that fourth quarter against the Giants, he's been pretty mid this year. Like
I mean, he had a good fourth against the Eagles too. Had a pretty good fourth there, but otherwise,
but other than that, he's been pretty mid. So like, I don't know what to expect here. Dallas is weird. But again, I don't know if the stats currently say this, but it's damn close to where it is the number one offense and the worst defense in football. I mean, I've already said Dak Prescott right now, if their record wasn't 3-3-1, would be not only in the conversation MVP, he'd be the front runner for MVP. He is literally carrying this team because he is now required to score 30 plus a game just to be in games. All right,
feels so like I mean, but let's be honest. If Joe Burrow did the same thing, Joe Burrow would probably be the front runner.
Right,
it's just kind of one of those weird things.
Same situation, right? Like last year, yeah. So I don't want to. As a bettor, stay away. Don't bet this game. Stay away because I can see any of these scenarios playing out. These teams winning. I'm going to take Dallas because I wanted my bet. I have my buddy make some money. So I'm taking Dallas, and I'm going to take a slight over.
Yeah, for the record, at least in terms of points, I don't know how the actual calculation of total defense or whatever, but in terms of just points, the Dallas Cowboys are second in the league in points scored, 222.
Usually they do it by yards.
Only behind the Colts at 232. The Cowboys, the second most points given up at 206. Only behind the Bengals at 214.
Which, by the way, Jim, the Colts offense right now through 7 weeks is the most efficient offense we've seen in, I think, generations.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's letting you know. So, so number two behind that, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, I don't know what it is in yards, but in points, that's just insane. Like to be 2 in points and second to last.
In yards allowed, Dallas is the worst. They give up an average of 401.6 yards per game.
Thus making Dak Prescott's campaign even more of a thing.
Yeah, it's insane. It is absolutely
400
insane.
yards a game.
Compare that to Cleveland, who's the number one in yards per game. They give up 256. So Dallas gives up 1.5 times more than Cleveland.
Jim, you give the Browns the Cowboys offense, the Browns go unbeaten.
Oh yeah, I would. I mean, I would like to give the Cowboys the Browns defense, but I understand what you're saying.
Part of me almost I kind of just lean towards Denver just primarily because I just feel like maybe they're just trying to do a complete assault of the NFC East.
I mean, here's the deal, dude.
Just beat all four.
The Raiders are like middle of the pack. They give up 326 yards per. I would take that defense right now.
Did you see that stat at one point that Jay put up for Geno Smith? It was like a minute to play in the third quarter. He completed a pass, and they're like, the Raiders' first completion since this mark in the first quarter. Although, that's almost 2 full quarters.
I don't know. A lot of rumors today, Trey Wingo and others reporting that the Cowboys are trying to work a trade with the Raiders for Max Crosby. Because remember, Cowboys have a lot of draft capital. They have 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they actually have the ability to make a move like that. And the fact that it's even a discussion is wild because usually these aren't the type of moves the Dallas Cowboys make.
Yeah, hard part on that is I'm pretty sure he's one of the main reasons Pete Carroll's there. So
possibly, but that experiment has started poorly.
You don't say.
So far in Las Vegas. So maybe Pete will be.
I mean, there's going to be Kenny Pickett chance in another week if it keeps going.
Sure are. Mm-hmm. All right, but for me, I don't really know what sense to make of this game. I really don't. Because Denver, they don't feel like a 5-2 team. They really don't. I've seen some Broncos fans that say this team feels almost like an 0-6 team because they haven't been good, but they just find ways to sneak a backdoor win at the end of the day. The Cowboys, when they've won, they look good. When they've tied the Packers, they've looked better than expected. But they also have a couple of bad losses. So, it took Washington having exactly 0 wide receivers for the Cowboys defense to really look good. But maybe that's the confidence they need. I don't know. I'm going to take the homer pick just because I think they need this one. If they're gonna make any sort of a possible run to try and catch a 7 seed, I think these are the type of games that you need to win. Because coming out of the bye week later, you have games against Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, Philly. Like the games get a lot harder when the calendar goes to November. So these are the type of games you have to find a way to win. And I think it's going to be a test of Brian Schottenheimer and company. But I think Cowboys get the win. And yeah, I think I'm going to take that over just because if the Cowboys are going to win football games, they're going to have to do it with offense. So
yeah, if it goes under, the Cowboys aren't winning.
Yeah, if a game goes under with the Cowboys, they are screwed. So Cowboys and the over. And then last one, Sunday night football. Interesting opponents would be even better if it was in Green Bay. But we have the 4-1-1. The 4-1-1 Packers. They are a 3.5 point road favorite at 4-2 Pittsburgh. Your over under is 44.5. Sean,
screw this game. I have no vested interest in this game whatsoever, with the exception of like an Aaron Rodgers revenge game. But the Aaron Rodgers revenge victory means that the Steelers win, which I don't want. And if he doesn't get his revenge, it means that Jordan Love wins. And I don't want that.
Nobody wants that.
I don't want it. Maybe Green Bay ties for the second time.
Oh my God, it'd be amazing.
I think if
are you scared? Are you really that scared? Are you scared, Eagle fan? Really?
No. I mean, in fact, in my opinion, I guess for the best interest of the Eagles, it's better if Green Bay does win sloppy games because I don't think they're as good as everyone thinks they are. And I think if the Eagles' weakness is the secondary, I think that a team full of wide receiver twos is a lot easier to guard than a team that has actual like number one weapons out there on the edges. So, yeah, I don't think we match up poorly against Green Bay at all. Having said that, with a minute into my clock, thanks for throwing that nugget at me, EJ. It's fine. It just sucks for me to say it because I guess I hedged my bets because I got the Steelers going under 500 for the season. Give me the Steelers to win this game. Aaron Rodgers in a revenge game is going to be a man possessed. He's going to try to out Flacco and just hammer it at him. The only thing that might hurt that is, like you said, it's not in Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers would have put on a better show if he got to do it in front of the old home faithful.
Oh, yeah.
But give me the folks at Pittsburgh to beat nuts. That's a late game. They're going to be good and hammered and loud. So, yeah, I'll take the Steelers to win that. 44.5 makes you want to say over. So I'm going to say Vegas knows something. It's going to be weather or something. I'm going to take the under on that.
All right, very good. EJ?
This game comes down to which team do you trust the most? Because right now,
isn't that what picking most games is, EJ?
If you would ask me after week 2, Green Bay was the clear number 2 team in the NFC, and despite their record, I don't trust them. I'm sorry. I've seen things in the last
That's because they're trash, EJ.
They're trash. They're playoff
trash.
Teams, but I can't trust them. Like I don't know, man. Steelers too, same thing. We got the 4-1. Off a bye, they should run away to the division.
Also trash.
And then they do what they did last week. So again, these two teams kind of mirror each other in some ways. Again, I didn't even consider
put Christmas lights on a garbage can. That's what we're looking at.
I didn't even consider the Aaron Rodgers angle of it because I've forgotten now he was a Packer 3 years ago. But seriously, I think the
it's
revenge
what he's
game
known
is here.
for.
Well, no, I'm saying right, but I wasn't thinking about that when I was analyzing the game initially.
This guy sucks.
Fuck you, man.
Oh my God!
Having
Buccaneers Patriots. I forgot Brady was a Patriot.
Was he really?
It's been longer than 2 weeks.
No, I just didn't even think about it at the time when I was watching.
Hell,
doing that. Having said that, though, man, I just think Aaron Rodgers do a huge game here, revenge game. Steelers give us a shit, but Green Bay is so up and down. I'll go Steelers because they're at home. Another game that I'll say don't bet. If you're going to bet this game, bet the over, though. I feel good about the over action this game.
Yeah,
I just hope Ryan Miller's still here. He came for the bad takes. And it wasn't a take. That was awful.
I don't disappoint, buddy. You know this.
I'll make sure that he gets it. Here's the thing that sucks for me is I hate the Steelers. I've heard one for the thumb for far too fucking long because I live around too many Steeler people. But like, I hate the Packers, and I have to hate them more because I have to hope that the Micah Parsons trade does not work out for them. Which would even be wild though if you trade Micah Parsons away and you end up getting Max Crosby from Vegas. But that's a pipe dream at this point. But the Packers are just. And spoiler alert, like for later, they're going to be higher on my rankings than they should be, but it's because of what's happening around them, not because of who they are. But I think this is the week where they start to get checked down to reality. The problem is, and it makes Steelers come back in, and I don't think they're very good either.
Right, this game
There's
does
two
nothing
teams
for
that
anyone.
people think are a lot better than they are,
and one of them's going to look like you.
Nobody's good, dude. That's the thing. The best team, the teams with the best records are well, the Colts are pretty good, but teams
the Colts are really fucking good.
Are not representative of who they really are. Really,
I took the under so that they both look terrible.
Yeah, I don't like either of these teams. I hate this game going to be Sunday night because I'm going to be like forced to tune in at least in some form of fashion. Maybe I'll put it on the second TV and I'll put a Disney movie on the.
Oh, come on, really, Jim?
I'll say there's got to be hockey on. That's
right. That petty, Jim? Are you that petty, buddy?
Maybe World Series is on. Look, I hate both these teams so
in a
much.
word, yes.
Yes, I am absolutely. We got a laughter in the comment there. I think Dan.
Game's hot garbage.
Lastly, because I'm running out of time, Steelers cover and win, and I will take the slightest of overs. So
slight,
yeah, just slight.
I just played the Vegas number. I have no reason why it's going under, other than that number feels like you're supposed to take the over.
Bro, there's a good reason why Steel team is trash. There you go.
They both stink. They're both
just
garbage.
stink.
Cam Ward said it best.
We ass,
man. We ass.
So,
all right. I love that.
I'm so glad he's on my dynasty fantasy team. Like that quote alone is keeping him on there for at least 3 years.
We ass.
Give him a couple of years. He'll be all right. That team sucks though.
Oh, they stink. They stink out loud.
He'll be fine. I think.
He will be fine. But
Yes.
It's such a good clip. All right, let's move into the power rankings as we do each and every week. We look at the top 10, the bottom 5, and please, content warning. Please, EJ, don't look at the top 10. Let's do the bottom 5 first. These are the easy ones.
The EJ, easiest one. This segment should take no more than 3 minutes. Honestly, to all three of us, because this is easy. 28 Saints, 29 Raiders, 30 Dolphins, 31 Jets, 32 Titans. That's
it. Mike has Browns 28, Ravens 29, Saints at 30, Dolphins 31, Jets.
How the fuck is that not there?
Sean, give yours. I'll give mine. And we'll talk about them.
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna tell you that the Jets are the worst team in football because we all
goddamn Jets.
We all just know it except for one person. And then I got the Dolphins second worst. Titans are third worst. Oh, the Titans are ass. I got the Saints here just because they can't seem to do anything right, even when they're doing things right. And then at 28, I had my pick, and I got the New York Football Giants. I don't care that it's the Denver Broncos that everybody thinks is good. I don't care that they beat my Eagles. It doesn't prove anything. You just gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter to a team that was dead. Don't you so up me.
So what?
The bottom line is we both just talked about how we don't believe in the Denver Broncos. And the only reason people believe in the Denver Broncos is because your team couldn't finish them off. That team stinks.
It's hot garbage.
Team? I don't care that the Eagles had a bad game against them. I think they put it right this week. But the New York Football Giants belong in this bottom 5, and I'm going to stick to my guns.
Ridiculous.
Not to mention the Ravens are trending up, so that's the only reason they're not here.
Ridiculous.
For the record, Mike, did he have? He didn't have the Titans in the bottom. So I think when the Titans won,
that has to be a misprint because
they had moved out. So last week he had Saints, Ravens, Dolphins, Browns, Jets. Browns did move up a little bit. So he's kept the same 5. He's shuffled them. I think was when the Titans had gotten their win. They had come out.
He might be holding the Ravens here until they pull off a win.
Yeah, which I don't. My
guess is 27 is the Titans.
I can understand why he's doing that. Now I pray to God the Titans not being there is an error because there is no way that the Titans should not be in this bottom 5. I'm sorry. There's no rhyme or reason why they're not here.
Right, and the Browns just obliterated who they obliterated
Miami.
this week. Oh yeah, obliterate. That threw the Dolphins down pretty far.
Now he did have the Browns at 31 last week, so they did move up.
They moved.
They did move it up in multiple spots. All right, for me, I do have the Jets
The goddamn Jets.
at 32, Dolphins 31, Saints at 30. I probably should have put in the Titans at 30, but I'll leave it as on the screen. Saints at 30, Titans at 29, and the Giants. Yeah, you give up 33 points in the fourth quarter. This was going to be the Ravens, but I bumped the Ravens out.
I get it.
You can scatterbo fuck yourself.
So I don't normally toot my horn on this show or any other show.
Well, that's good. It gets
it starts
lie.
now. I'm sorry. My list, my bottom 5 is way better than your motherfuckers. Sorry. My bottom 5 is perfect.
No, it's not, because
in what world? I'm sorry. I don't care. There is no way either of these teams are better than the Giants. The only team I'll give you is the Saints because they beat them once. Other than that, you can't make a case any of these 4 teams be better than the Giants. Cannot.
Bro, you give up 33 points in the fourth quarter.
So what?
You deserve to be in this spot. You deserve.
So what if they won the game? Let's say they get the 30 points in the fourth quarter, but they won the game late.
Then they would be like
the Ravens would have been 28 for me still.
There was no way you're putting, bro. That makes no sense. Like, look, I'm less mad with the Giants part. The part that having the Titans there, for Mike is
I'm just
the fuck.
I was excited that it gave me a chance to put the Giants back where they belong.
Right, exactly.
Well, you're just being an asshole. That's why, because you hate the Giants. I
just
get
think
it.
that organization is just a hot mess, and it's
No, they are. I'm that fan. I'm that fan. Like always and always, my team sucks.
Well, I'm also not seeing a ton here. Like I'm looking at the schedule, and it's like you got
also
minus the Eagles game, which by the way had no Jalen Carter due to an injury and an early injury to the only cornerback that we have.
No Malik Neighbors, no fucking Slayton for us. Okay, we all have injuries. Next. What are we doing?
I mean, that was just one of those games. I think it was just one of those games. Everything else trends pretty accurate.
The Giants beat the Chargers.
You guys lost to the Saints by 2 scores. I didn't even know that game was.
At least the Titans. At least the Titans have won a game. The Jets.
Whoa. Don't do that. Don't do that, Jim. Don't do that thing with the 1-win thing, because I think the Titans are worse than the Jets by far, because at least the Jets are in their games. The Titans got fucking lucky in that one game. Come on now. They lost to a retarded team.
Oh, I don't think that's the proper nomenclature these days.
You can't be saying that.
You can't be pulling that off.
You can't be saying that. You can't be dropping the hard R, EJ.
Sorry about that. Arizona is a moronic team.
There you go. That's better.
Sorry about that.
Well, the Arizonas are cursed, by the way. They're winless since a certain thing happened in that stadium. Just gonna say that. You can do the math to figure out what that thing was.
I have good memories of that stadium, though, so I'm sorry. We won a Super Bowl there. Won a Super Bowl there.
But man, the Jets are so bad. We've already spent more time talking about the bottom.
For real. We said 3 minutes, right? It was 3 minutes. Bullshit. It never happened. Never happened.
But man, just don't give up 33 points. You wouldn't end up in there. Probably been the Raiders.
I get it. I get it. You're wrong, but I get it.
Speaking of wrong, EJ, what's your top 10?
Here we go. I can't wait for this one. All right, number 10, the Niners.
I just looked
Here's
up.
the thing.
No. Give the 10. We will go through the lists and then we'll talk about them.
Yep.
Number 9, the Packers. Number 8, the Seahawks. 7, the Bills. Number 6, the Rams. Number 5, the Buccaneers. Number 4, the Eagles. 3, Lions. 2, Colts. And number 1. Can I get some music, please, this one? Something?
How about just that this guy sucks?
Hot take, motherfucker. They are back. The Kansas City Chiefs, number 1.
So, 8:38 this morning, I got a text with this list. And it took everything in my power not to talk to him about this list.
I was waiting to respond.
Until the show. Luckily, Tuesday is my busiest day at work because I don't have the time to get into it.
I was hoping to respond.
Save it for here. But I'll go through Mike's. Mike has Seahawks 10, Patriots 9, Rams at 8, Broncos 7, Eagles 6. The Bills, I went double S.
2 S's. I saw that.
At 5, Buccaneers 4, Packers 3, Lions 2, and Colts 1. Sean.
The extra S's for sucks.
I think I got to redo the Bills shirt on our website now and just do Bills. The Bills Mafia.
Again, I spelled it with a lowercase d.
Even Dan knows. We'll get to it, Dan. I promise.
Pappy. The back.
Oh my God. All right. So anyway, I am not super high on my list. I mean, I'm high on the top half of it, but we'll get there. So I got the Patriots in here at 10. Reluctantly, the Packers at 9.
Reluctantly.
I don't even know why.
I know you hate them so much, bro.
I mean, if the playoffs started, they would have the number 1 seed, I believe, just because of the less games and a tie.
Right.
It's just insane. Then I also reluctantly have the Broncos here, so I don't feel good about either of those. Buccaneers, I may have thrown down a bit far, but that's because I like the other teams just a little bit better. 6, I have the Seahawks, who I think might have the best defense in football. I have EJ's Chiefs sitting here at 5. I did give them a major. I'm now seeing the Bills, and I can't let it go. I'm looking over at the list, and it's just too much. You need $signs instead of S's, because it's going to take a lot of money to build that defense. So yeah, I got my Chiefs sitting the 5. I got the Rams just ahead of them at number 4.
Chiefs. My Chiefs.
EJ's
Thank you. Get it right.
Right.
Sean.
What was I thinking? I was going to say Patrick Mahomes, but why not EJ?
Yeah.
I have my Eagles up at number 3. I just want to let everyone know we're back up for now. And I have the Lions who just look back in stride for now. Maybe it's just a regular season stride. Maybe it's not. But for now, it's the regular season, and they're kicking some ass. And the only team kicking more ass than the Detroit Lions is the Indianapolis Colts. And if the Chiefs want to take over the number 1, they're going to have to do it more impressively than the Colts are doing right now.
They do play.
And it's going to take more than one measly game to prove that they deserve it more than the Colts.
They do play a couple weeks though. Who would have thought that Colts Chiefs game be on a marquee game this year? Who would have thought that?
I almost want to find tickets to it. I feel like that's how.
Look, you shut up so I can get my list.
Sorry.
Rams 10, Bills at 9, Patriots 8, Chargers 7, Seahawks 6, Buccaneers 5, Packers hold on at 4. I'm not going to punish them on a bye week. Eagles up to 3, Lions to 2, and the Colts are now in my number 1 spot.
Well, you got Packers high. My God.
Well, they were 4 last week because everybody above them lost.
Oh, Mike's worse than you were. Sorry. I apologize.
And again, you can't punish teams on a bye, so they won. I guess they won this week.
They won Arizona barely.
Yeah, they were on. They were on a bye last week, and they stayed where they were because every teams around them lost, and then there was teams around them that lost again. So they hold sway for beating a bad team. Okay, EJ.
What do you want?
Okay.
What?
So last week you had the Bucks at 1, the Lions at 2, the Colts 3, the Chiefs at 5. You did not have the Chargers in your top 10. So,
last week, right?
Last week.
Okay.
So in week number 7 in the National Football League, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Raiders, who are now your 29th worst team. Last week, they were 28th.
Worse than the Giants.
So they beat a team who was in your bottom 5, right?
Yeah.
The Colts beat a team who's not in your top 10. The Lions beat the Lions, who were number 2, beat the team who you were number 1. So in that time, the Chiefs jumped from 5 to 1. The Colts jumped from 3 to 2, and the Lions, who were 2 and beat the number 1 team on your list, fell to 3. It's not.
How does that make any sense?
The Chiefs at 1 is bad enough for me, but please explain to me how the Lions beat the number 1 team on your list and fall.
The Chiefs fucked things up, bro. They're back. It's just that simple, bro.
But they beat a team in your bottom 5.
I don't care. They're back. They're back. I see enough. They beat Detroit. Don't forget, Jim.
You've seen enough to beat one good team.
Hold on. They beat the team I thought was the best team in football up until 2 weeks ago. And beat them soundly. Okay? In Detroit. Did we forget that now, sir?
No.
I think we did. Because
no, we don't.
Look,
we didn't.
Mine sounds out logical, and I get it. I'm just seeing they're healthy again. They're full strength again. They got Rice back now, and you saw immediately Rice on the field. What happens there? 2 touchdowns.
Because they're playing one of the worst teams in football.
I don't give a shit. But they beat a divisional opponent the way you're supposed to in that way.
One of the worst teams in football.
Doesn't matter. I agree. But they beat them the way you're supposed to. Bottom line. To me, the Chiefs, until I see the Colts beat the Chiefs in a couple weeks, I think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, quite possibly the league. I gotta see the Eagles. It's absolutely insane. It's not insane. No, it's not insane. No. I mean, who's their coach? Who's Chiefs coach?
Andy Reid.
Who's quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes.
All right, our conversation's over. That's it.
Okay, so why'd they lose to the Eagles? Why'd they lose to the Jaguars?
Not full strength. I mean, they had a rough period, but again, we look, we all panicked. I panicked too. I said in the show too also for a couple weeks. This team might be done. At best, a wild card team. Remember after week 2, week 3, Chargers running with the AFC West. Where's that fucking narrative now?
It was never in my narrative, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
So again, this can change. They lose next week, whatever. Then obviously they're out of number 1, but I'm seeing
I understand the narrative.
Probably go to number 2 on your list.
And again,
I understand that the narrative that they're the best in the West. Like, I'm okay with that.
Right.
I'm fine with, from what I've seen this week, that they are the best team in the AFC West, mostly because the other 3 are starting to muddle their way towards a lot closer to garbage than we thought they would be.
Right.
I'm just throwing that out there. But it's like he said, you had a team that was at 2, has continued their assault on everyone in front of them since, they and you're like, well, we had that bad game against I'm like, well, so did they. They had their bad game.
It is less
not this week.
No,
they didn't have a bad game this week.
But again,
they destroyed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Don't focus on me penalizing the Colts and the Lions. That's not why I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this as the team
that's the most abrasive thing about your list.
But I look at this as the Chiefs back to who they really are. And until you
that's great.
Beat the men,
and with the record that they have and the losses that they have, and you weigh all the pros and cons, it's why I have them at 5, because they had to climb a lot of teams. They still have a lot of losses, and it's 1 game against the Raiders. But yes, it looked very good. Which is why they jumped from, I think I had them at 10. I think I had them looking in, like presuming this was going to happen. And I gave them 5 jumps. I gave them at 5.
And look, and Sean, here's the thing. I confess, it is a hot take.
And I see a world where the Seahawks could beat them. And I see a world where the Rams could beat them. And the Eagles and the Lions and the Cardinals.
And there's a world right now in this NFL season through 7
because I don't know how good they actually are.
And here's the thing, though. Right now, we live in a world in the NFL where, unless your name's the Titans, the Jets, the Dolphins, or even the Raiders, you can beat anyone week to week.
Minus a receiver that caught 40 yards in that game.
So the Raiders can't beat anyone, but it's propped up as a good win for the Chiefs because it's in the division.
It's the way they did it, too, also. It was as dominant as you're going to get against a divisional opponent. So it's less about we know the Raiders.
So if
that.
The Lions had done that to say the Bears, like they would have
which they did. They did.
Oh, right, they did do that. Never mind.
Right.
So why did the Colts jump the Lions then? Ignoring the Chiefs part of this.
Right, let's get that out of here.
Because the Lions still beat the number 1 team on your list, and they fell to a team.
You don't. I mean, if I had my way, I go 2A, 2B. But
you don't. Yeah, you don't get to do that.
Honestly, okay. But Indy has been very impressive. Detroit is doing what they do. But again, it goes back to, and look, with my rankings, I don't look at just the immediate. There's a lot of factors in this. Look, everybody's rankings across the world are all different. Mine is I weigh in history too. History comes into play. Trust comes into play. I trust the Chiefs. Their pedigree for the last 8 years.
Talking about the Chiefs.
Please.
I'm done with the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Colts. The Lions were 2. The Colts were 3. The Lions beat your number 1 team. The Colts beat a team who wasn't ranked in your top 10. Why did the Colts jump the Lions?
Okay. Lions injuries. If anything, their secondary injury. And let's be real.
Well, one of them's a suspension, and he's back this week.
The score was not indicative of how close that game was. Actually closer than people give credit for. It was 24-9, but that game was a one-score
I
game most of
thought
the
it
way.
felt the other way.
I thought so too.
I thought it felt a lot worse than 24-9.
Baker was chucking up prayers, man.
Yeah.
He threw like 50% completion and
I know, but
just looked horrendous.
Indy went to the Chargers and just beat the brakes off them from start to finish, pull the post. That game was never close. That's impressive as shit.
Well, the Lions game was never close either.
I'll say they
Colts jumped out to a 14-point lead and never looked back.
The Colts beat the Chargers by 14. The Lions beat the Bucks by
It wasn't that close, to be honest, and 14 points isn't that close either.
15, sorry.
That wasn't that close, to be honest with you. And a road win at that.
Okay.
You know?
But
I mean,
the Lions still beat your number one team.
What number one team?
Last week you had the Buccaneers.
Last week the Buccaneers were number one on your list, and they got beat by the Lions by.
And you dropped the Lions.
Understandable.
Again, the Chiefs. I'm actually not even that surprised that you put the Chiefs at 1.
You shouldn't be,
because
it's what I do.
Because you went from unranked to 5th to 1. You went from 11th at best to 1 in a 2-week span.
There are only 2 teams in this league that can jump like that because of trust. It is the Chiefs and it is the Eagles. That is it.
I would say you would probably lean a little bit into the 49ers that way. But
no, the injuries are a problem.
Why? Because they're in his top 10.
But again, you still haven't. So it's because the Colts went on the road. Is that the problem?
Yeah, I mean they went on the road and they punked that team, bro. I mean they punked them, start to finish. I felt me personally, I felt the Lions Bucks game's a little closer. So like it's a game of inches at this point.
It's the first time he's watched the Colts.
No, I'm watching. I've been watching.
It lined up well enough.
No, I'm investing in Danny Jones. In fact, I missed.
He thought He thought the Giants game was well in hand, so he.
No. I missed
watched the Colts.
Game. I missed Colts game because of the Giant game actually, but I've been investing in this Colts thing because of Daniel Jones. I'm rooming with a kid. You know what I mean? So, but the Niners are there because how are they 5-2 with all those injuries? Kyle Shanahan right now is the coach of the year currently.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
What?
No, he's
Dude,
not.
Bro, we have not seen Brock Purdy since week 2.
It doesn't matter, bro.
They are decimated with injuries right now. And how the fuck are they 5-2 still?
Shanahan,
yes.
Don't get me wrong. He's doing a great job of piecing together a Frankenstein's
him and
monster
Steichen
version
the
of the
1
San
and 2.
Francisco
Him and
49ers.
Steichen the 1 and 2.
I will give him that.
Steichen's number 1.
Steichen is number 1. It's not even close. There is nobody in the realm unless you're just going to hand it to a Man Campbell or an Andy Reid or something like that. There is no one else that has done more with what was presumed to be less. They got a New York Giants castaway. Chose him over
understandable
Anthony Richardson.
The Indianapolis Colts' over-under number was 7.5. And I would say most people probably predicted them to be under because Danny Dimes was their starting quarterback.
Correct.
They've already won 6.
And they're
showing no signs of slowing down.
They're crafty. They're balanced. The
49ers over-under number was 10.5.
Yeah, but the injuries. I think the injuries.
I don't care.
What the Colts are doing, everybody's in it. The Giants don't have Malik Neighbors.
What the Colts are doing is impressive. Is absolutely impressive.
Like I looked at.
I'm not taking away Shanahan's doing a great job with the team that's banged up, but man,
the Colts Chiefs play in a few weeks. I am circling that game.
Oh, absolutely, without question. And if the Colts win that game, they're clear number 1, obviously.
We picked on EJ's list enough. Anybody want to?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm done. I've exhausted myself.
Anything from the other list that
I mean, a lot of the teams are very similar. I think I'm a little higher on the Rams than everybody else.
A little bit.
I just still like what I see there. I don't give as much credit to the losses as I do to what I'm seeing. Just like losing Nakua and not missing a beat. Devontae Adams looks real good. But yeah, I don't see a lot else. I think James, you're on my list are very similar.
Yeah, I mean, I still have my Chargers up there. I look at the fact that
so you have the Chargers.
Why so high?
I have the Broncos. I put them in very similar shoes.
The Chargers are literally a minute away from having a 4-game losing streak. I don't get it.
Dude, my guy, if you start doing these 1 minute from, 1 play from, you could probably take half the teams in this league and half of them
almost lost to the Dolphins, bro.
Yeah, they're also
the Broncos
a
are in my
mash
top
unit.
10, and they almost lost to the Giants. But here we are.
They're not my top 10. I know better than
They're
that.
mine because they beat the Giants and threw them in my bottom 5. I had to.
You clearly don't know that.
The Broncos are a balance of like great defense and somehow an ability to play in the fourth quarter and only in the fourth quarter. I don't know how that works.
Jim. Okay, if you want me in the top 10, fine, but not number 7. They're not better than the Patriots right now, or the Rams, or the Bills.
What? Dan with a shot. You have the Chiefs at 1. You lost the right to question the other people's pick.
Hey, Pappy, I got 3 rings to show you, bro.
Whose rings?
I'll say
my rings. I'm a Chiefs fan.
That's right. He is a Chiefs fan.
This show, I've been the biggest Chiefs homer.
First off, I'm a Chargers homer, so I'll at least.
So, Pappy, I have rings to prove that.
I'll at least put the actual reasoning on it and not just say, "Oh, I trust them. They're going to do that." I'm a Chargers
bro.
homer.
I weigh that in my car, but you know this though, bro.
If the Chargers played the Patriots this Sunday, I would pick the Chargers to win. The Rams
Chiefs are one because he likes them.
The Rams were out last week. They got back in with the win. The Bills were 9, where I feel like they rightly should be at this point. And they were on a bye. You don't get to come up on a bye.
I don't hate that, bro. I actually don't hate the Bills at 9.
You don't get to come up on.
I actually originally, when they went listen, I had the Bills at 9 also too originally. And I made,
if anything, I would move the Patriots above the Chargers and have the Chargers at 8.
I also feel like the Patriots are low on my list. I would like to see them up behind maybe the Buccaneers, ahead of the Broncos.
I'll give you credit though. I'll give you guys credit though. I don't have my list at all, and I think there's still that apprehension. Like, okay, one more week maybe then I buy in.
Yeah, it's fine. I rewarded them. I rewarded them because of the win over the Bills 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And
road win in prime time. That was a big win.
Yeah, and got them in at 10. And I mean, yes, I know they've only beaten the Saints and Titans since then, but they're not struggling to win those games.
I'll say this. I'll say this, Jim. They're 11. I look. Here's the deal. I rewarded the Niners because of Kyle Shanahan, what they're doing. There's no way on God's green earth this team should be 5-2, and yet they are.
Sure, I mean they're absolutely overachieving. I will agree with you. I will agree with you on that one. I think it's also beneficial that they've beaten the Week 1 Seahawks, which are a much different team than they are today. They've also
don't do that.
They are.
Don't do that. It's still the same team.
I think when they play the second time, it's going to be a much different.
Probably so, but you can't use that against them, like because then the past loss of the Raiders Week 1. Everybody has a bad loss on their schedule so far. Even the fucking Eagles do. Even the Eagles have one. The Giants.
Sure, but I mean,
the Eagles lost to the goddamn Giants.
I mean,
no, he lost, got blown out by the Giants.
But I don't think I'm being, and it's not necessarily being insulting, but I think Week 1 you're going to get odd results. See Bengals Patriots a year ago because of the way the preseason is. So just because the Seahawks are a different team now than they were in Week 1, I'm not necessarily taking away from them. But the other teams that the Niners have beat, for the most part, are not good teams. Saints, Cardinals, Falcons. Now you do have a win against the Rams. That's good. And you have losses to the Jaguars and the Bucs. So one really good team, one team that's good some weeks, bad the others. So
the one thing you got right, Jim, though, that Mike and Sean didn't get right, in my opinion, the Broncos. They're not a top 10 team.
No,
they're not a top 10 team.
I don't know what I was rewarding. I felt dirty putting them there, but
yeah, you were the Giants. That's why being the Giants. Come on.
Did you have them in? No, you didn't have them in last week. Mike, at least he had them in. He was 9th last week.
So if you're wondering, by the way, where the line between a win and a blowout win happens, it's somewhere between 15 and 17 points. Because the game, the Lions Buccaneers game, according to EJ, was not a blowout. It was a close game.
Now we know.
No, I said it was closer than the score.
Points, but the Giants blew out the Eagles.
Hold on. I said the game
17.
Hold on. No, you missed what I said in that segment. I said that game was closer than the score indicated.
I don't feel that way at all. But
yeah,
I agree to disagree.
I think that's a off basis.
I'm not mad about it. I had
Detroit covering shit up here.
I had money in Detroit covering anyway.
I might change mine because there's a Monday night game that I'd like to predict now. Let's see.
Look, I mean, most of us would agree that the best two teams in football are the Colts and Lions.
Oh my God, there's only one Monday night game this week. That's very exciting.
It is. Well, it's shocking.
I don't mind the 2, by the way, but give me the staggered one, not the 1, 7, and 10. Give me 7 and 8.
No, see, if I'm gonna have 2, I want them separated that far.
I think you should start it earlier. Go 6 and 9.
The problem is the last. I mean, here's the thing.
Easy.
I'm off Tuesdays, so it doesn't matter to me. But I have a hard time staying awake past 12 o'clock sometimes.
That's because you're old.
Well, duh. And I got kids at school in the morning. Come on now.
And you're old. What do you come home and take a nap? I start work at 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
A nap? I work in the morning. What are you talking about?
You said you don't work on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, right. But I got podcasts to do too. Come on, man. I got things to do.
Good Lord, you always have.
I got this hobby I got to wake up for.
But the bottom line is,
I work out.
When you look at this, it's like there's a couple of really good teams, and then there's just like there's pocket of everybody else that some weeks we're going to feel good about them, some weeks we're not going to feel good about them, and then there's just everybody else until you get to the bottom. And that's just what the craziness of this year has given us, and I'm sure it's going to keep delivering as we go through the rest of this year. But let's, gentlemen, let's put the bow on it as we do each and every week.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, we look ahead towards the weekend that will be, and we tell one thing that will happen this upcoming weekend. EJ, what's going to happen this weekend?
So the NFL schedule this week, I mean, got 6 teams on bye, number 1. It feels like a meh. Like the best game really by record is probably Steelers and Packers. But yet those are the weeks you see a lot of really cool, shocking things happen and some weird stuff happening. And I think we'll get more of that. We've gotten that all year long from week 4 on. We've gotten like weird results, weird games, like shocking results. We're getting more of that this weekend. I don't know what game exactly, but I think we're getting a lot of wacky
Come on,
shit
you gotta.
this week.
I'm not letting you get away with something that lazy when the season's
in
in chaos every week.
Okay, fine. Let me look at my schedule quick because none of the 4 games we cover I see anything really shocking.
Yeah, you gotta put, and I can even go to Sean for his. I'm gonna make you put something.
Look, keep an eye on a few games here. Keep an eye on the Jets Bengals game. I think the Jets could still win this one because the defense. If it's one thing they do right, it's the defense.
Don't be responsible game. I'm holding your feet to the fire here. The lock is one thing that will happen.
Okay,
put something on.
Okay, Jets win the first game of the year.
There you go.
Lock it up.
The goddamn Jets.
There you go. He does it
this week.
Playing Bengals.
All right, Sean. What's one thing that will happen this weekend?
All right. As much as I would love to go with the Chiefs let down, I'm not going to make that play as a lock.
Save that.
I don't think it's impossible because the team they're playing is also going to get a lot healthier this week. Should see both Debo and McLaurin back.
James probably out though. Daniel's probably going to be out that game though.
We shall see. I mean, Marcus Mariota's. Well, that's true. If he's not playing, they're screwed.
See, there you go.
But yeah, if he manages to pull that out and play, I think they got a shot. Yeah, I'm gonna not go with a win-loss one. I'm gonna go with a get the monkey off your back kind of lock. New York Giants are the one of the few teams with a worse rush yards against average than the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Sitting at 25th in the league. And I think because of that and just kind of what I've seen of the ability to push the Giants defense around when you want to, see the fourth quarter last week, I will go ahead and say that, one, I would go ahead and just lock that the Eagles are going to win, but that just seems lazy. So I'm going to –
because it is.
It's lazy.
It's
but
very
what's
lazy.
going to happen is the Eagles are going to come out firing. They're going to come out feeding the receivers again. They're going to push the Giants defense back because they can only do one thing at a time. And because of that, Saquon Barkley, for the first time in quite a while, hits the 100-yard mark. And I'll even push and lock it at 120. I'm going to say 120 plus for Saquon Barkley.
Over.
Hell, throwing a touchdown for good measure, right? Because I think this is the game to get things right. It's a former team game. It's a game that the Eagles really, I don't say can't afford to lose, because I don't know that the Giants will necessarily jockey with them for position, but you can't rule that out because the league is drunk. So you need to make sure that you don't lose a tiebreaker just head-to-head with the New York Giants here, and just in case. And also, who wants to lose to the New York Giants? Nobody.
But you already did, though.
Nobody.
I was nice to you also about that shit. I didn't come on text.
I said no one wants to lose to the New York Giants. I beginning of the year, I told you when I saw Giants, Vikings, Giants, I said there's a very good chance we split. And it just would make sense.
Did you really say that?
I said, I don't know if I said it on here or just said to everybody, like, that's the same team twice in 3 weeks. And the first game was like game 2 for Scatabo and the young crew, right? Like that's so it's new. You're without your best defensive player. There's a lot of things. It was on the road in the division, which are all things you weigh very highly. So you should understand. The other things you whine about on a regular basis.
Optics. That's right.
It's all
that's
optics, right? I would say there's a lot of things that weren't playing to the Eagles' favor in that game. This one, I think, plays a little better, and I think everything should just kind of right itself and feel more normal. And because of that, let's get Saquon a buck.
For the record, I do agree with you on everything you said there. The Eagles win, and I think so.
Both goes off. Goddamn much. All right, both of you stayed in the NFL for your locks this week, so I'm going to move to college football. And the chaos machine is still going to reign supreme in college. Syracuse goes into Bobby Dodd Stadium and upsets number 7 Georgia Tech.
Lock it up.
I don't hate that.
Oh, you asshole!
What?
I want Tech to be undefeated a little while, man. It's a fun story.
Well, it's midnight Cinderella.
But you're probably right, though. You're probably right.
Midnight Cinderella. EJ, let them know where they can follow you.
Drunk ass season. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, find me on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, at EJ7. First podcast, because all podcast catchers. We had our first through the game report since the season started. So check it out. Double episodes today. All content on there as well too. Earn Freak Pod on YouTube of course, and on TikTok as well. And another great show, guys. I had a good time.
Yeah, very good, Sean.
Well, as usual, you can follow me down here in the Sunshine State at Seanshine State on Twitter. And if the Chiefs happen to start losing that Monday night game, you go ahead and you can follow me on any of EJ's message boards that he just sent. Because that's going to be fun. But otherwise, just follow me glued to a TV on Sundays. Go Birds.
All right, very good. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports on Blue Sky and on Twitter. But most importantly, follow along with the show. We are at Huddle Up Podcast on Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitter. You can get us on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. Make sure you're getting our merchandise over on our TeePublic store. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You can hit the link tree. The QR code is on the screen here at the end of the show. Just hit that. That'll get you everything Huddle Up related. We're on all podcast platforms as well. Until next week, when we try to make sense of what the hell just happened over the last 7 days, stay safe, stay smart, and go for the win.